Hey guys, AG Sports, it's in the game. So am I. We're ready to go. Let's get it. Tomorrow's the first game of the week, or depending on when you're listening to this, could be tonight. It is the Bengals and the mighty Super Bowl bound Jacksonville Jaguars. Cannot be stopped. Of course, I'm just bullshitting you. I do think, though, there is a good play on your screen right now. You probably heard me talk about it if you listened last week. But before we get into that, guys, I just really wanted to take a second to tell you thank you. There was a lot of supportive comments lately. I was actually just, messing around. I honestly, guys, if anybody is out there listening to these videos and making money, I'm doing my job. I'm totally happy with that, guys. I would love to have a big following and sponsors and all that kind of stuff. It's not in the cards right now. I totally understand that. I made this channel strictly because I love football. I love gambling on football. I love talking about football and just kind of sitting in the room by myself talking into a mic. All those things are like right up there on my hobby list. So thank you again for the support. I really do appreciate it, guys. I hope I can keep making you money and keep kind of pointing you in the right direction here. On that note, if you have any plays that you like for the week at any point, or you know something about your team that's kind of a good angle, guys, share it with the rest of us. Nobody knows your team as well as you do, I promise you. A lot of these big syndicates and big, super wealthy gambling groups, they don't look at every single game themselves. They have one expert per team, and sometimes it's even one guy that lives in the area so that he can go watch the practices and all that kind of stuff. I don't need all that, but if you have a particular team that you watch every week, that you follow, that you really, really just dig into every week, and that's your favorite team, give us an angle. I know you know one. I know you know that they're not good against a certain kind of formation, and they're not good against certain passes, or maybe they are really, really good when they play a defense that doesn't have a corner, or maybe they're weak against mobile quarterbacks. Something. Put it in the comments. I'm being totally serious, because there's stuff that I can run numbers all day, and I will not know because I cannot watch and dive into each team as much as I would love to. But alright, enough of that. Enough grab-assing. The play on the board right now, and I'm going to get into some look-aheads and some really just some good or bad spots for certain teams and scheduling issues and stuff like that. That's really the gist of this video. But I had said this earlier in the week. I really do believe that Darrell Bevell, the offensive coordinator for Jacksonville, is great at scheming up first drives and starting off the game. Now, the rest of the game kind of downhill, but he's really good at getting that first drive going. And as we get further into the season, he's going to get even better because he's going to have more tape on his opponents. The play I like here on your screen right now is Jacksonville plus 300 for the first touchdown of the game or first scoring play. It's plus 300 for a reason. Let me just say that. But if you really don't like that, then you think there's no way that Jacksonville gets this touchdown, I don't care how good this guy thinks Darrell Bevell is, the beauty of this is that you can hedge it with Cincinnati touchdown. If you put, let's say, $25 on a Cincinnati touchdown at plus 135, the payout is, I believe, $35. Let me check. All right, just did the calculations. It's $33.75 is what you would win for Cincinnati touchdown. Jacksonville touchdown, if you put $10 on it, you're going to win $30. You can play both of these touchdowns, and as long as one team gets a touchdown first, the first score of the game is a touchdown, you're going to win money. If you do that particular scenario, you would win, in that very particular scenario, you would win $5 on Jacksonville touchdown because you would win 30, which would pay 25 to pay off this bet plus your 5 profit. Or if you don't play this at all, obviously, then you just win the $30. I'm not telling you to hedge. I really do think that the Jacksonville touchdown is probably your best bet to go. This is a long shot. If you're not familiar with the props or you just don't feel comfortable with the long shots, I don't blame you. That's totally fine. I'm just telling you that's something that I'm going to play, and depending on where these odds go, I might hedge it, might not. But that's just something. Like I said, this is not do not get me wrong. Don't put a full unit on that. If you're usually betting $100, don't put 100 on it. Put a tenth of a unit, whatever your unit size is, on that particular prop. But I think it's got a lot of value in it. So aside from that, let's go to the look aheads. So for this week, week 4, and I apologize I didn't go over this earlier or didn't go over it last week either. But the Broncos, or Ravens at Broncos, I even wrote it down, guys, to start the season. So I wrote this down way back in like the middle of the summer, that the Broncos were going to have the easiest first 3 weeks. And it's still true. It remains true to this day. If you weren't already aware, we did take the Ravens on a teaser. And right now you can get that at plus 7.5 in most places and at plus 8 at some other places with a tease. I'm not telling you have to tease, because I think you might even be fine just taking them straight up, like on the money line. But if you really want to get those points and just play it safe, especially in a lower scoring game, the tease is more valuable. You're probably looking at taking the Ravens plus 7.5 just to be on the safe side. Because again, if they do lose, I do believe they're going to probably lose by 6. But either way, that's first on the docket here for this week. Next is Panthers at the Cowboys. So the Cowboys did play Monday night. Panthers played last Thursday. Panthers have a huge rest advantage here. Cowboys, something that has not gotten spoken of as much is that the Cowboys are still coming off of a back-to-back cross-country game, because if you don't remember, they played Tampa week 1, then they came back home, then they flew out to Los Angeles for week 2, finally played at home in week 3, and now they're playing at home again for week 4, but again, they're coming off of short rest compared to their opponent. I still like the Cowboys in this position. One of the plays for this week is Cowboys minus 4.5. The Panthers have just had too many injuries, too many setbacks. Panthers have I believe we said that it was the third easiest schedule on the season so far. They really don't have a lot of offensive weapons at this point. They have one in DJ Moore, who should get shadowed by Trayvon Diggs. I don't see the Cowboys losing this game, and I see them covering relatively easily. I think the algorithm has them winning by 11. So let's just round that down to 10, since 10 is more of a key number. And let's say that we think Cowboys should win this game by 10 points. Next is Colts at Dolphins. So the Colts are actually in the middle of a 3-game consecutive road trip. If you didn't already know this, teams that have 3 consecutive road games typically do cover the first of those 3, but then the second game they only cover 44% of the time, and then week 3 of that 3-game road trip is even, I believe it's actually just a little bit better, but odds are they're still not going to cover. So I don't think they're going to cover this game. I didn't bet it because the Dolphins have injuries of their own. Jacoby Brissett is backup, obviously, for Tua, and the Dolphins just haven't really done anything to impress me. I'm not saying that they're not going to cover, and if you bet the Dolphins, I wouldn't hate you for it, but I think the better way to play this is the under, and we already have that for the picks of the weeks, is Colts Dolphins under 43.5 or under 44 if you can get it. But that's really it for week 4. It wasn't too much. Now week 5 is where we get into some interesting stuff. At week 5, which again is next week, Patriots are playing at the Texans. So the Patriots are going to be going from Sunday night, this upcoming Sunday, to playing the next Sunday at noon, but also it's a road game for them. So they are going to play Sunday night, obviously not be done until very late at night, then basically have like a quick, brief, walk through Monday, Tuesday off. They get like 3 days to prepare for the Texans. By all means, they should still win that game because the Texans are that bad, especially with Davis Mills. But I really love the under on that game, especially with short prep time, with the Texans having a decent defense at least. The under for that game is something I'm going to look to hit as soon as it comes out. I don't know what the under is going to be at. I would expect it to be around 44, but even down to like 42, I still really love that. Next is Dolphins at Bucks. Same thing here. Bucks are obviously playing Sunday night. They do get to play at home next week, but the Dolphins will be in Tampa Bay. I'm not really touching that game. Bad spot for the Bucks, but as of right now, unless the line comes out with something crazy, I'm not touching it. Browns at Chargers is the next one I really, really like for week 5. So the Monday night team, which is the Chargers, are playing Sunday, so they're going to have 1 day of rest disadvantage there. They are going to be playing the Browns. Now, they are playing at home, but the Browns are a heavy run team, as everybody knows. They have 2 of the best running backs in the game. The Chargers allow a 68% EDSR on the ground. That's the highest success rate in the NFL. If you run against the Chargers, you are going to be successful. And you saw it with the Cowboys. You saw Tony Pollard have a big day. You saw Zeke even look somewhat okay. The Chargers have been playing this too high shell defense to stop long passes and to kind of contain offenses, and it works. It worked against the Chiefs. It worked against the Cowboys. But the joke's going to be on them when you're playing a team that doesn't want to pass deep to begin with. The Browns going into the Chargers, in week 5 with the Chargers on a short rest week. Guys, I'm pounding that one. The Browns should win that game, and they should cover. And if the Chargers can pull off another win this week against the Raiders, it should be a shorter line. It should be something like a 3-point line, whichever direction, depending on how they come out. Can actually take a look and see where that line is at. So the line back in the summertime was actually Browns minus 1.5. I don't think it's going to move too much from that. I think we can still expect like a Browns minus 2, maybe minus 1.5, depending on injuries that come between now and then. I love it, guys. Love it, love it, love it. Just look for that one ahead of time. Be sure to look out for that line because it might come out Monday morning, even though the Chargers play Monday afternoon, depending on what's going on. But if not, it will be out late Monday night after the game or early Tuesday morning, and you want to jump on that one before the rest of these sharks get out to it. The Sharps are going to steam that the hell up. It's going to get to Browns minus 3 before you know it, so be on the lookout for that one. Next in week 5 is the Colts at Ravens. The Bears at the Raiders is actually the next one, and that's another Monday night issue. So Raiders played Monday night. They're going to turn around and play Sunday against the Bears. Another one where the Bears just really have not impressed me much. Haven't done anything on offense. Matt Nagy can't scheme up a defense for Justin Fields. Andy Dalton may or may not be back there. If he is, it doesn't get any better. I don't like the Bears. The Raiders are a hot team right now, getting a lot of money. I don't know what the spread is going to come out as, but I don't want to lay anything with the Raiders. I don't trust them. I know that at some point those wheels are going to fall off. I'm not touching that game. If you want to, try and get the Bears with a big line, if it's like Bears plus 9 or something, by all means, try it. I'm staying off of it. Last one for week 5 is Colts at the Ravens. Colts, this is their 3rd consecutive game. Like I said, they are just a tick better in these games. 46% of the time they will cover that spread. Obviously below 50%, but below 52 to 53% of the time, which is really what we need as far as gambling is concerned. I would be looking at taking the Ravens this one. It's going to depend on what happens in week 4, though, because the Colts have had a lot of injuries, and I'm not sure who is even playing, who isn't playing in week 4. Depending on who plays, it's going to give us a better picture as to who's going to be available for week 5. And then in week 4, obviously, if there are more injuries, or if Carson Wentz finally gets pulled for bad play, bad ankles, or whatever, that's all going to go into this. But as of right now, I am looking to back the Ravens again for week 5. Another kind of angle on this is previously we were 0-2 betting the Ravens or against them even prior to last week. Last week, the algorithm finally got it right, and we stayed away from them. This week, we are going back to the Ravens, and again, part of the teaser for this week is Ravens plus 7 at the Broncos. And again, like I was saying, you can get that even better at this point with the tease. If we get them right this week, I will feel more confident betting them in week 5, but we'll see what happens this time. If we still are off, or the algorithm still isn't spitting out the right numbers for the Ravens, then at that point we'll probably stay off of this game as well. But the Ravens do finally get some wide receivers back. They finally got some guys healthy again. Again, an injury bug is trying to finally kind of lift from that team. So maybe we'll be looking to play that one. But for sure, we are looking to take the Browns over the Chargers and the Patriots-Texans under in week 5. We're just waiting on those lines to come out and make sure that they are of value. So thanks again, guys. Kept this one short and sweet. Please let me know if you have any questions about these, anything at all that we can go over. Like I said, if you have any picks or any comments below on your team, let us know. But thanks again. Good luck. Good weekends coming up for everybody. And let's go make some damn money.